Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to do a Kitchener / tubular bind off for the top of this sweater that I'm working on. Hopefully today this will make your life a little bit easier. What you're going to do first is you're going to slide your needle down like this. You're going to take a second needle and the other side of your current needle, and you're going to hold them side by side, because what you're going to want to do is you're going to slip your knit stitches onto your current needle and the slip stitches or the purl stitches onto the new needle. And you will continue down doing this. But as you see here, we're putting all the knit stitches on one and the purl stitches on the other. I'll meet you back when I finish these here. Oh, yay! We've got them all separated, all of our knit stitches up here on this one and the purl on this one. Now what we'll do is we will slide both of the needles to the opposite end so that they're poking out over here. It is easier if you use a completely different needle, but I realize that not everybody has multiples of different sizes. You can use the other end of the needle that you were using before to work these stitches here. And you are going to need a length of yarn that is about 3 times the length of whatever you're working on. Basically what I do is I leave a tail over here and then I just hold it along my work and kind of go back and forth to determine what I need. And leave a small tail on this end. The best part about doing it this way is that you do not need a tapestry needle. I'm taking my other side of my needle and I'm going to begin working with these stitches. It's not as hard as it looks, I promise. Way easier than with a tapestry needle. So I'm going to purl the first stitch, and then before I slip it off my needle, I'm just going to pull my working yarn through because I do not want to leave a stitch on this needle. That's the important thing to remember, is that you're not going to do that. So then in the second stitch I'm going to knit and I'm going to leave it on my needle, but again I'm going to pull that working yarn through so I do not leave a stitch on this needle. Then I'm going to come to the back needle, bring my yarn over here because I am going to knit this first stitch. Sorry, I'm having trouble here with my tripod being in my way. So knit the first stitch, pull your yarn all the way through, and then slip that stitch off, and then purl the second stitch, pull your yarn through, and leave that one on. So the first stitch that you do, you will slip it off. The second one that you do, you leave it on. On the first needle, I'm going to come up here again, and I'm going to purl this stitch, pull my yarn through, slip that stitch off, come to the second stitch, and I'm going to knit it, pull it through, leave it on the needle, come to the back, then we're going to knit that one. So we will knit the first stitch, pull our yarn through, slip that stitch off, and then we will purl and leave it on. Always pulling that yarn all the way through. Come up to the front needle, purl the stitch, take it off, knit the stitch, leave it on. So on the front needle, you are purl, knit, and on the back needle, you are knit, purl. I will show you one more time. So when you're in the front, when you start out, you're going to purl that first stitch, take your working yarn all the way through, slip that stitch off. Then you will knit the next stitch, pull your yarn all the way through, and leave that stitch on your needle. Come to the back. Then you will knit your stitch, pull your yarn through, and take that stitch off the needle. Then you will get to the second stitch and you will purl it and leave it on your needle. Always, always pulling your yarn through. You don't want to leave anything on here because the point of this is that we are binding off so that it looks like our ribbing just comes out of nowhere. Isn't it pretty? It's so much nicer than a typical bind off where you have a harsh line right there. It just looks like so nice and neat. I hope that this helps you and I love you guys. I will see you in the next video.